Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashtarothi, the voice of New Eden, and it is March 12th, YC126, and this is the Eve Universe Show! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's it going, guys? I'm so excited to be back. Oh, it's been a long month. It's been a long year. YC126 is rough. I will be talking about the Chris chips. We've got a lot to cover today. We've got patch notes. We've got news from Singularity. Serenity news. We've got and the monthly economic report. I've got my buddy here to discuss some market stuff and economic report, hopefully in a little while. Hold on a second. All right, so let's see. First and foremost, let's jump into the patch notes. So today's patch notes are pretty simple, not compared to, I think a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, there was a bigger patch. I put out a video that was focused around that because I wanted to put out that information in a very concise package because it had a lot of really useful information. A lot of big changes happened, and so I'd recommend checking it out if you haven't already, especially when it comes to Triglavian weapons and some other stuff, rapid lights and whatever. But today we get some minor changes, the updating of the credits, but we get some changes to the expert systems. The Enforcer Operations Expert System gets 2 new skills, and the Faction Warfare Expert System gets 5 new skills. Expert systems are the things that you can buy for your character that gives you access to certain skills for a period of time, like as a rental fee. And then there is some other stuff when it comes to like the new player experience that it seems. The reset settings menu is now scrollable, which is really nice. Very minor changes when it comes to what's got fixed. So it's really just these expert systems. And this is probably being touched on because earlier on the 8th, we got expert systems and accelerators landing in the NES. So up until this point, for the most part, expert systems could only be acquired either through the air career arc during events that they wanted to give one out, or through cash, right? Most expert systems could only be bought with cash or part of bundles. But now you can actually buy these different expert systems in the NES, which means you're able to buy them with Plex. How much is this going to impact people? I'm honestly unsure how big of an impact this is going to be. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch, actually. Why don't you comment or let me know if you have used an expert system. Have you used an expert system since this change happened? And if so, what do you guys think about it? Now, I do find it interesting because, like, oftentimes I think that one of the issues is that expert systems are compared to just buying skill points outright, right? Like, if I'm going to have a mining barge, why would I have a mining barge why would I have a, hold on a second. If I was going to get the skills for a mining barge, why would I pay money, cash, to get mining barge for 2 weeks or a week when I could just get, a skill injector and have it forever, right? Well, so now you can see that these expert systems are on the NES. Here I am on the NES at the moment. The Mining Barge Operations Expert System is now 15 Plex on the NES, which is really good. And there's also these new accelerators. This sucks for me because these are the Master Arm. These compete with Master Arm Cerebral accelerators. But now you can get these for Plex. So it looks like they're about $5 for 2, and I'm sure that they get more value, like 10 for 125. So it would be, never mind. I don't feel like doing the math. And then on top of that, you can now get the expert system. So they're adding more and more options for a new player to jump in using microtransactions in order to try out different things or carve their own journey through Eve. Cool. So that's basically what today's patch was about. Whether or not that's exciting to you, but $5 is 100 plex. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Hold on. Let's go look. So if I go, we go to the actual. Where's the, like, isn't there a, where's the store? Don't act shy with me. There it is. Found it. So the skill training, skill management. No. Skill training. Am I crazy? I guess it's a pack. They're all packs, right? We have already been over this before, I think. No? Hold on. Are they no longer in the store? Yeah, I know that they're for Plex, but they used to be for cash. So they're no longer for cash. They're only for Plex. Is that correct? Oh. Plex offers on the website. What about it? Oh. Well, but like if I can't have an expert system, yeah, if I don't get an expert system. Huh. Interesting. Is that what it says here? In the best way to quickly blah 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 blah. Expert systems maybe are the way to go. These are designed, furthermore. Okay, hold on. Because it used to be that you could pull up the expert system in game and it would send you to the market. Yeah. That's really interesting. How do I get in skills? Wasn't there a way to like browse expert systems before? How long does an expert system that costs you 15 plex last you? It's interesting that it's now only plex. It's 7 days. They last for 7 days. So that's an interesting option. I think. Hold on. Well, this one doesn't say how long it lasts, but the other one did. I'm going to go with that. Expert is listed in your Plex vault. No. Oh, haha. Wait, how'd that happen? Browse expert systems. Enforcer expert system, view and store, external link. Check it out, guys. Who do you want to be today? Expert system, 0 offers. Here we go. So the in-game link links you to the website, showing you all of the expert systems that are available on the website, which is none of them. I'm sure they'll fix that, but that's really funny. Okay. All right. Rabbit. I feel like that journey was worth it. No. I don't think biology doesn't affect expert systems. I don't believe. Wow, what a deal. Yeah. None of them. So $5 gets me enough Plex for 42 days of whatever the expert system unlocks. But during the Plex sale, those same $5 would get me 112 days. Why would I even Omega such a character? Well, I mean, because presumably that's not the only thing you want to do. It is interesting that like that is a totally valid option at this point, right? Like if you want to get into mining, you don't actually have to go Omega. You could just permanently finance mining. Like, hold on. How much is Plex right now? This is only going to increase the value of Plex, by the way, but so 5 million per Plex at they're not all equal. No, they're not all equal. Look, the course ship systems one is 25, Enforcer's 80, Hauler's 50, Mining Barge is 15. Okay, so we're going with Mining Barge at 15. 15 times 5 million is 125 million? Is it 75 million? No, hold on. Is it? It is 75 million. 75 million. You can mine that in a day in high sec if you're really like if you do it right. That's pretty wild, actually. I wonder if this means more event accelerators. I wonder if this is to compensate for the fact that they removed 90 or like 80% of the events out of the year. Like this is to compensate for the lack of event accelerators consistently. This is, I mean, this could really, honestly, it could increase the price of Plex potentially. Although remember, your account's still alpha, so it's not like you're going to be able to do this and then mine with like a bunch of accounts at once. But you know, if all you do is mine with your buddies on the weekend, why would you pay $20 for a full game when you could just pay 15 Plex every, week and be able to run it? That's pretty hot. Now, when I say 1 day of barge mining, I mean like dedicated day with Orca boosts and da 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 da. I don't want people like chiming in like, "What are you doing in high sec getting that?" But like whatever. I mean, like let's put it this way: less than an hour of home fronts gets you this expert system. Not that you use binding barges in home fronts, but still. Well, it makes anytime you increase demand on Plex, you're obviously going to increase the price too. but I don't know if this is necessarily an increase of demand. But anytime that they add more utility to Plex, it does push up the price often. Yeah, I really do like the idea that they keep finding new options and new ways of getting people to be able to play, like find their niche within the game. So I think this is really important when we think about things like, well, they're not going to pay $20. Well, there's going to be a lot of people that are on the fence about it that weren't going to pay $20 in the first place, but now are willing to do this, and now they're playing EVE Online. And as long as they keep playing EVE Online, the chances that they will eventually convert over to Omega players it remains, continues. If they can't do anything with their buddies and so they wander off, they may never play EVE again. So, like, letting people, this is the same thing about when they went free to play, right? Like, obviously the servers need support, and obviously this game is kind of built around Omega access, but like, if you can't, we need people in the game, we need people doing things. So, alphas exist, now expert systems and stuff like that exist, to provide people different options besides an entire $20 a month commitment as Omega gives. You miss out on the opportunity for truly non-max your yields as an alpha, but having the option to rent a barge when you have spare time or ISK can be hugely profitable in the for the alpha. It's true, especially since like the expert system isn't nothing. The mining barge expert system grants all of these skills, right? It's 29 days of skill training. Including wait, hold on. Am I silly? What does it take to do strip mining? Am I crazy? Oh, okay, never mind. I am crazy. I'm dumb. Yeah, so it's 4. So yeah, you're able to use strip miners. You're able to use that stuff. You get level 3 mining upgrades. I mean, you're not bad. Somebody paid for the Plex, which for cash, so it's paid game time anyways by somebody else. Correct, but the point is that like the accusation would be if someone only needs to pay, what is it, 60 Plex a month in order to have access to what they want to do, why would they pay 500 Plex a month in order to have Omega? And I think that there are definitely answers to that, especially with things like access to the shooter coming. All right. But that's enough of that. On HoboLeaks kind of revealed the same thing, but there is some stuff from HoboLeaks that I do want to cover that was showed up. Like new conspiracy just dropped, guys. Let me actually post this over here real quick. I didn't prepare this on. Notes. New note. So here are the new expert systems that were added to the game. As items added to the game, as opposed. So the reason why this is because up until this point, I don't think expert systems existed as a thing in the game. It was only a thing that was on the website, but now it is a thing in the game. So that's why these things exist. I'm pretty sure. Although what's funny is looking at them does lead you to the website. But also there is Starseed Blast Classic and Orange. So what's weird about this, well, there's a lot going on here. This soft drink, first of all, these soft drinks are these part of the new sales? Are these available right now? Oh, they're not even on the market yet. Yeah, okay. Right. I don't think these are on the market yet even. So presumably these are going to be coming out soon. Let's talk about this a little bit. So there is a soft drink in Eve called Quaif, right? Quaif is like the major company. It's a Gallente company that has gained mega corporation or whatever status in the state, and it's very, very popular. And Starcy is their main competitor. Now, what's interesting about this is that Starcy was originally made by players, but was adopted by CCP as canonical a few years back. Starcy being the Caldari competitor to Quaif, right? So, and more capsuleer based. So this says Starcy Blast is the latest offering from Drink Starcy soft drink business prevalent across Caldari space and beyond. Starcy Blast is pitched as the ever-growing market for high-energy, neurostimulating drinks craved by space, industrial, and colonial workers across New Eden. Starcy Blast Orange is a refreshing variant of the drink designed to sharpen the senses and enhance energy uptake for key workers everywhere. So it's got the 5% scan resolution, 5% capacitor recharge, which is fine. Launched by Caldari loyalist capsuleers as a rival to Quaif, Starcy has become a popular drink within the Caldari state in the 2 decades since its creation. Notably, following the Nuega Huvi megacorporation's acquisition of the brand in December of YC117, the soft drink and its numerous variants have taken on a new lease on life, stocked in stores and commissaries across New Eden. So where is the conspiracy here? Well, as always, the devil is in the fine details. No, in this case, it is in the fine print at the bottom. Disclaimer. Starcy Blast Orange is a license for production by NOH to all PKN Interstellar Consortium members and partners. Consumers should be aware that proprietary Starcy Blast technology remains the property of NOH at every metabolic stage of consumption and excretion. Hold on. So what they're saying is that even after you've drank it, technically what you drunk still belongs to them. Users of subcranial nanocontrollers may experience amplified or altered performance and should contact their preferred nanotechnology service professionals in the event of unforeseen events or effects. Okay, this is the big one. Hold on one second. Shoot, hold on one second. I forgot to pull this up ahead of time. So, soft drink induced. Oh no, it's not going to be here. Is it one word? Nope. Is it soft dash drink? Drat. Hold on. Fine. I'll just do it from memory then. So basically, as Celis Agard was being elected during the last presidential election of the Gallente, one of the things that was noted was that Quaif was giving out a bunch of soft drinks and other stuff like that, but they were saying that Quaif denied connections to soft drink induced nanocontrollers influencing senatorial elections, which was always a very, very, very spicy thing to suggest. Subcranial nanocontrollers, I have a whole video about them, but basically they're created by Lidai Corporation that from what appears to be stolen Intaki like consciousness transfer technology. And so they use those in different things. It was actually originally developed to help the Amara control their slaves, but that actually ended up falling out and that deal ended up not doing so well. So Lidai, as well as some of the other members of PKN, were kind of financially put out by this effort. And then, of course, PKN gets the G244 contract and the HyperNet, and eventually they release Expert Systems. And Expert Systems rely on subcranial nanocontrollers, as part of their operation. So what it really seems is that they're suggesting that expert systems are it's really interesting that at the same time that they patch in these expert systems, they also patch in the drinks that seem to interact with nano controllers. I don't know whether or not this is going anywhere. The CCP loves to put in all these little like, ooh, disaster brews kind of stuff. Could have never end up anywhere, but I do find it really funny that they keep pushing this idea that like they're developing soft drink induced nano controller technology in order to control the population or whatever. So yeah. How's it going, Sean? Oh, 70 you. So yeah. Yes, even after you've excreted it, it's still there. So that's correct. It's very suspicious, isn't it? Lidai is a very suspicious company. So are the rest of PKN, which includes NOH. I've had plenty of videos about those too. So yeah, that's that. Next conspiracy. On Reddit, which is everybody's favorite thing for me to start with, there is this post. This is a new ship that has been added to Serenity. Now, Serenity is the Chinese version of EVE Online. And it has diverged from main EVE Online in several critical ways. However, interestingly enough, like it's still one client code base now. So a lot of things we see things, not code base, but server structure. So things that we see patched onto Singularity or Serenity, we also see in EVE, but they never actually get put in or whatever. That said, we do have this new ship, and it's very interesting, and it has people very interested as to what's possible. And it is a new type of ship called the Colossus ship. It is classified as a Gabriel, or that's the name of it. That name plus its overall look and feel makes me think it is Angel Cartel. And that's important because of some of the details that I've talked about, or that we're going to talk about. Now, what's big about this one is that you can see that it has capital projectile turret damage tracking and fall off speeds, as well as the roll bonus of reducing the large capital weapons power grid, and it allows them to fit them. It also reduces jump fatigue. Has the increased warp speed acceleration that you would expect from Mimitar or from Angel, and then it has the shield extenders, armor plates, and reinforced bulkhead bonuses that you would expect on a battleship. So what is this that we have here? Is this a new kind of battleship? Well, also in the comments, and I'm not sure, like all of this could be whatever, but this person says, actually, as a player on Serenity, I must tell you this ship is horrible. It's only twice the EHP of a battleship. Like only 20k shields, 20k armor, and 20k hull with 5,000, not 500 signature. Only 2 hard points. Makes it deal less damage than a Naglfar fleet issue with haul weapons, and a 2 light year maximum jump range. Yeah, you have 4 light year jump range with maximum skills. You can't jump through a Titan. And will take full damage from any other capital ship. So it sounds like it's a mix between a battleship and a capital ship. It has some of the battleship bonuses. Some people called it an attack battleship. Oddly enough, they suggest that it can jump, even though there isn't the jump capabilities listed here, although there is the reduction in jump fatigue, which is odd to get a reduction in jump fatigue on a combat ship. So what do I think? You know what the nail in the coffin is for me when it comes to like what this is? And this is going to be kind of a stupid thing. There's a thing that's missing here, which is that, like, in our paradigm, there are racial racial ship skills, and then there are T2 ship skills that build off of those racial ship skills. So you would expect, even if this was let's say this is a new T2 battleship, you would expect battleship bonuses as well as the Colossus bonuses shown on this screen. In addition to that, it's an Angel battleship. So you would actually expect both Minmatar and Gallente battleship bonuses shown on here, as you would on any other Angel ship. In addition to that, like, the thing is that we already have a lot of, like, we don't really have a need for this kind of a heavier ship, and it really doesn't fit like the meta of problems that we run into. We don't have a shortage of small dreadlights that can jump a small range to drop on things, I don't believe. So yeah, I don't think that this is necessarily going to come to Tranquility as we see it. It's very unlikely. However, I do want to point out that I do want to see this thing come to come to Tranquility, because, oh my gosh. Is this showing right? Yeah. Can I make this scrolled in right? There we go. Stop. Look at that. That's it coming. Any good haulers that you recommend? Well, yeah, it really depends on what you need, and it depends on this M3 of the load. So yeah, and then there's some other concept designs and stuff like this. So like, we've saw this image show up and these models show up a little bit ago, and there was some theories that, like, oh, maybe this is the new Angel carrier coming. And, you know, it very well still could be, or whatever. But, and this does look like, I mean, it is undeniably an Angel ship, and very pretty Angel ship. But the idea of a Colossus, I remain highly skeptical. What's the link for the thread? I will link it in chat. And hopefully down below. All right. Next. Speaking of conspiracies, new fragments, data fragments are showing up across New Eden. So basically, the last time we saw this was like during, Epiphany. But this is, you know, CCP's gotten pretty good at doing these. They've done it a few times now, where they will preview what is coming through videos that drop from special rats in Eve. In this case, the rats that drop this are the roaming packs that show up when a system has suppression of at least, I think, 2 or 3 suppression or corruption of those stages. So you'll either get Hakazotsu or Zohar rats if it's corrupted, and then you'll get Valkynier, I think, or Consortium. You'll get Consortium rats if it's a suppressed system. But my understanding is that both sides are dropping these new Chris chips, these corrupted Chris chips that were dropped. If we go back to Singularity again, if we go back to Hope, I don't know why we want to keep on saying Singularity. We go back to Hope Leaks, we can see that a total of 120 partially corrupted Chris chips was dropped into the game. Now, they do this because that way people can right-click on them to get the video, but there's nothing in the data here that gives us what the video is. That is given by CCP, like when you actually get it in-game. So we can't cheese these in order to get the video pieces. So people do have to go out and get them. So this is what they've done so far. There seems to be, it's some sort of assessment. The first one says physical aptitude. Well, actually, the first one says cognitive assessment protocol, then physical aptitude, and then integrated analysis, I think. And the fine print like the blocks are just barely are missing, taking out the pieces that like would allow us to give any definitive knowledge. It's very generic testing type stuff, physical aptitude. And then assessment integration. So what is this exactly? So the obvious answer is Vanguard clones. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, the obvious answer is that this is obvious. You know, this is for Vanguard. I just realized. I had chat hidden this whole time. I'm sorry. Gabriel sounds more like a fax. The Dread or maybe the Titan should be a Machariel. Yeah, that's the other thing is that we already have a Angel battleship. It's just very weird in that implementation, but it does feel like the kind of thing where they got the model and so they just did something with it when CCP has a different plan with it. That's what I think. But here, yes, these could very well just be teasing more Vanguard stuff. However, I would like to at least, since we're doing a tinfoil day a little bit, my tinfoil for this is, what if these are the Caldari, Caldari modified clone soldiers, the bio-adapted soldiers? Probably not. I mean, all things considered, it's probably Deathless related, and potentially even related to the next Vanguard test, which should be involve the mining update, I think. But remember that the Caldari have also been experimenting with their own bioadaptive soldiers based on Triglavian technology. And so, like, the only reason I put that is the reason why this is odd to me is that this doesn't feel like something that the Deathless would produce, right? So if this is a thing, then this could be the counter forces to the Vanguard, right? If the Vanguard is the Deathless forces, we know that the Edencom has been developing their own clone soldiers for quite some time. And in fact, Aegis was the heart of Edencom was originally built to be a, shock troop, foot soldier type force. And so this feels way closer to me as the Empire's assessments rather than the Deathless's assessments. But I'll leave that up to you guys. If you want to know more, there is some discussion about this in the Arataka Research Consortium Discord, although I've seen a lot less buzz about this. I know Makoto is putting out a bounty for the pieces and whatnot, but I haven't seen nearly as much discussion about this. And I think that partially because, like, it's hard to say where this is going, and it's certainly not like a challenge like Find the Gate was, right? So we're going to keep an eye on this, and obviously when there's updates to it, I will let you guys know. But otherwise, I have one piece of this left for the conspiracy theory. Ready? One big conspiracy theory. So I just said it's Edencom, and I just said it was the Caldari, but why is this the Angels? There's one really, really weird thing about this. Hold on. Cords. There's one really weird thing about this, which is the things that these come from. The partially corrupted Chris chip. This advanced Chris chip is configured to store holographic data, but has been heavily corrupted and partially wiped by security protocol. In this instance, the protocol is violently interrupted and some fragmentary data may be accessible amongst the vast quantity of randomized information on this Chris chip. And then they suggest that you right-click it. Why is that important? Well, I Googled EVE Online Chris chip and found one other time that the Chris chip has been used in the context of EVE Online. And that is Mithra's Gate. Now, I have done a reading of Mithra's Gate. You can find it on my channel. But if we search Mithra's Gate for Chris chip, we find this section where this is during the... so Sariel is an Angel Cartel member He's got his own little band of misfits. By the way, the way that this chronicle came to pass was that there was a skin called Sorial Flame for the Dramiel. Well, is a skin. And if you purchased the Sorial Flame skin, you got a copy of this sent to you. So that's how it was originally released. So, and this was to tell you a little bit about Sorial, and it has this weird story about him going to this place. He found this mysterious facility that may have, it probably has connections with the Jove, may have connections with the Triglavians, but in the context of this story is that it's an interrogation of one of the people that was with Sorial, recounting a story, right? So Sariel's contact was based in Kabi. It's a big system, lots of belts and moons, lots of miners, salvagers, all sorts of scratchers and looters. The mandate's mostly inactive out here. Amatar fleet has a couple of listening posts, but few patrol boats. That's it. No orbitals, no stations, couple of dirt side bases. Kabi 8 is a temperate, but basically a hot jungle, or a huge jungle. Hot, humid, mining on the poles, though. Most of the barons have something. Hold on, let me go get past all this. All right, Sariel's contact was waiting for us in a room that he'd already secured. The guy was dressed in a survival suit, full armor with a duster all over it. Good armor, too, not bulky. Flexible where it needed to be. Hard as tungsten carbide when it counted. I took him for a belt-born or something like it. Space adepts don't like being in a gravity well without a support system too easily. It's impossible for some of them. He was sitting in the corner there, fiddling his pads, some trinkets, all sorts of bits and pieces. I marked him for an architect straight away. I guessed he was a specialist in space archeo. Good work if you have a decent rep. He had the money from the look of his rig. So there is some suspicion that this person is a Triglavian based on this description. That is one of the conspiracy theories about this. Soriel wanted to talk to him quiet-like, so I sat over by the window, but I kept an eye on both. I could see that they were arguing about something. Nothing heated, though. It sounded like something more than... It sounded and looked more like haggling. The architect swapped the data strip for the black tech I knew Sariel had pulled out of a dead rogue hive a while back. Sariel asked for the architect a couple of questions. Well, I knew Sariel wasn't happy with the answers, but the guy was shaking his head. Then Sariel pulls out a trinary laminar crisp chip. I had to hold myself down. Trinary laminar would go for millions on the black market. The architect just looked at Sariel holding the crisp chip under his nose for a second. Then he picks up something. I couldn't see properly from where it was, a couple of trinkets or something, and it throws them onto his flat dish he's got on one side. Then he nods, takes the crisp chip, holds it into the light, and then puts it on the dish. I saw him pick up the trinkets up and kind of fiddle with them in one hand for a minute. Then he picks up the trinary laminar, backs up, and gives it back to Sariel. Then we left in a hurry. So... And then they use that to find and access this facility known as Mithras Gate, which is this highly mysterious facility. When CCP actually added in a bunch of landmarks into the game, they added in one secret landmark, and people have even suspected that that was Mithras Gate. Like, there's a lot of hullabaloo about the Mithras Gate, its location, and what they could have found in there. But you can find more information about that by listening or reading the Chronicle. What I find interesting here is that sometimes I feel like CCP has pieces in what they introduce now that, while it doesn't necessarily directly relate to the something from before, it's designed so that when some chucklehead like me decides to Google the word, I find a previous example of it, right? This has been very frequent when it comes to like characters and sometimes even like these kind of scientific terms, where it feels like, oh, this must clearly be reminding me about this particular thing. Now, that might just be me. That might be, I'm crazy or something like that, probably. But it does feel that way sometimes. So, yeah, that is the story of the crisp chips and the current ARG, I guess we could call it, that is going on. I will let you guys know when I know more. Okay. We have a big Vanguard update in June at the same time as we have the EVE expansion drops. Yeah, we do have an EVE expansion coming very soon. And, well, I mean, like, soon. But we have very little information about the details of it, besides the fact that it'll impact nullsec and that the CSM seem pretty excited about it. So, yeah, and of course, as that information comes out, you'll find out more about it here. But without further ado, do we have anything to cover so far? Because otherwise, what we have left is the MER. Is that right? Yes, please like the stream for the guinea pigs. They're doing nice, by the way. Somebody asked me the other day, how are the guinea pigs doing? You always used to talk about how they need your likes and subscriptions, and now I don't see you saying that anymore. I hope nothing bad happened to them. No, they're getting by, you know. It's been a lean month. Let's put it that way. But they're still there, and they're still squeaking as always. All right. I'm going to set up the MER. I have, as normal, the MER from that was released today, but I also have the MER from the previous 4 months that I can pull up so I can refer to it. But I also, hey, Sam, I also have a buddy here who I think might want to come over, and we'll chat about this together. So let's see if I can, on the fly, rearrange my tiny room to fit 2 of us in front of the green screen. Hold on. All right. And I think you'll probably need to lean into the mic when you're talking. Is this good for everybody? I don't even know if this is good. Aikawarazu Chan, 07 to you.
Hear me now?
Lean in.
Can you hear me now?
I think you can hear him now. Can you hear him now? Make the green screen wider. I can't do that. And I put the mic here. Oh, gosh. All right. Well, close enough, I guess. All right. So all right, monthly economic report. First of all, before we do, I want to point out that I am joined by a buddy of mine named Caesar. Actually, hold on. Let me fix one more thing. That way, I'm not protecting people from your ugly mug. I mean, what? No. So, no, I got, oh, yeah, okay. So, we got today's monthly economic report, and I've got Caesar. Caesar's been playing this game for, when did you start?
I forget. I think it was 2006.
2006. And he's been doing industry and mining. In fact, if you go back and see my old video about the roll call changes, the first ones, and I talk about my buddy who was very concerned about those changes, here's the buddy that was concerned about those changes. So, hi, buddy. All right.
It's good to see you guys.
So, you know, since he was in the area anyways, I figured that he would be somebody to at least bounce some ideas about the monthly economic report about. Let's hope it works out. So, first and foremost, jumping into the first chart, we see, like, this is a big thing that I saw noted on Reddit too, which is, like, look at that spike. Look at that spike in mining, right? That's mining. That is crazy.
A lot of mining.
That's the biggest spike in mining in a long time. So that's January, February. So yeah, that's basically in March, we see it go from, what is this? Like, it over doubles like within like 6 months, how much mining is being done. Now, production went up too, but not this huge spike that mining does. But I think that means Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Industrial Master, but if mining spikes up here, we should see production spike up shortly after. We would expect that to follow, right?
Yeah, we're probably going to see a drop in the production.
That's a good idea. That's a good point. We'll watch the mineral index just to see. So, but also like, look, hold on. Now this is proportional, right? So we can see that proportionally things haven't really changed that much for production. Proportionally, things haven't really changed that much in destruction, although there is a little bit of extra wormhole destruction recently. But look at that mining spike. Almost all of the mining spike, 100% of that spike in mining is in nullsec.
Darn.
Don't forget to lean in. So let's look at some of these stats. We have, so mining value, we should see a pretty big outlier, right? Well, Veil of the Silence at 5.25. Immensity at 2.2. What were these at before? Oh yeah. So Immensity is up 2 trillion. Impasse is up 2 trillion. In's Mother is up 2.5 trillion. $2.7. Delve is actually down. So yeah, Mencia, Impasse, In's Mother. Those are like extended Goonlands, right? If I remember correctly. I don't know what the state of like all of the nullsec regions are.
I have no idea about nullsec, except I know that CVA still operates in.
Yeah. All right. So asteroid ore mined over time. PanFam? Ian's Mother's. So what I find interesting here is that we actually see a downtick in mining of asteroid ore, which means we should see something even more interesting. So here we have Delve. Delve being number 1 at just under 7 billion mined, where before they were at, I mean, they're up a little bit, but not that much, which is weird because it showed that it was down overall. But let's find out why. Gas. Gas is pretty steady. Veil of the Silent, still the best gas region. The South East Agreement ended, and PanFam has been taking over space. So all of this extra mining is PanFam? Ice volume mined over time. Is that right? Because people were talking about it being goons. I don't know. Ice is flat, pretty much completely. And moon ore. Wait. Where's all this extra mining coming from? Hold up. Can somebody, hold on. Somebody help me understand what's happening here. We see like that big of a spike. Like mining doubles. But doesn't actually increase.
So is that a mining activity recorder then? Instead of actual ore mined?
I don't think all ore doubled in value in the last month. I mean, I would expect some related spike in one of these 4 charts, right? I mean, there's this major increase in mining of something in nullsec. Delve did 6, and last year they did, or last month they did 3. No, that's ice. They did over 6. That's so weird. I wonder if that stat is wrong somehow. I wonder if that spike is just totally bogus. Is Homefront mining part of this chart? If first of all, you wouldn't have seen a spike last month per se, but more importantly, you would see the spike in high sec, not in null sec. You see that like null sec greatly takes over the total amount of mining that got done. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like one or the other charts aren't showing something. Now, it is true that like this is volume and the other stuff is value. So those are 2 different things. But like the mineral price index didn't double last month. Yeah. I don't know. So weird. Okay. Either way, let's keep going. If anybody has an idea as to what happened, please comment it below or whatever. Okay. So imports, exports. Let's look at the ones that we were looking at. So we got Innsmother, right? Oh, shoot. This is not in any kind of meaningful order. Amencia. Impasse. Am I crazy? Innsmother's a region in this video game, right? I'm not crazy.
I remember that name.
Okay. If I go here, Innsmother got 3 trillion mining. But here, Impasse.
There's Innsmouth.
Oh, there it is. Jesus. Yep, I am dumb. Okay, good. Thank you. But those are all really low. Well, no, I guess so. They're low, but they're only low proportionally, right? Because we're only looking for 2 or 3 trillion, which may sound like a lot, but now I got to find it again. 8.23 to 9.3. Yeah, I give up. No, yeah, the second list is not in alphabetical order. It's in order of biggest like marginal difference, you know, like profit versus or imports minus exports or other way around. See, so like Placid exported 47 trillion and imported 39 trillion, and so had a difference of 8.59 trillion of increased value from exports. So yeah. I don't know if there's anything else to really delve from that one. Let's look at this. Commodity market is at 44 billion, where last time it was at 56 billion. So that's, I mean, that's just an indication of like not really an event during this time. We've got bounty prizes is at 41 to 38. So bounty prizes are down. Main bank auto payment went from 21 to 19. So it looks like ratting is down. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of conflicts. So that's probably why. Triglavian invasions are at 16 when they were at 17. Now, if I remember correctly, everything was up last month. So it makes sense that things would kind of correct a little bit. But yeah, looks pretty normal. Am I saying a billion when I meant trillion? I meant trillion. Thank you. But overall total, we had an active ISK delta of -61 last month and -75 this month. Is that good? I guess that, so that's in theory ISK leaving the economy. More ISK is being taken out than put in. That's actually really surprising. I've never actually paid attention to that maximum stat.
That max.
Right here. Oh, wait, hold on. No, that can't be possible because there's one. No, so it should be the other way around, right? 175 trillion in faucets, 113 trillion in sinks does not equal positive 175 minus 113 does not equal -68. Am I having a stroke?
No.
Okay. I'm
that's I don't know how they came to -68.
Wouldn't that be positive 68?
Maybe it's just the velocity of the ISK.
I don't know, man. Yeah, this doesn't make it sense either. What is the activist delta? Wait, hold on. There's a little thing at the bottom. Activist delta. The net effect of ISK coming and going with player accounts, including all GM actions. Okay. So does that mean that our activist delta is negative because people are being banned? Is that what's going on here? What's up, Throckmorton? 07. I don't know. This is really weird. I should never have looked at those numbers. All right, so next. Kind of a boring month when it comes to these kinds of things. Things were up a little bit. It's gone down. You know, things have leveled off a little bit as we get kind of into the... Not a lot has happened, honestly, in EVE. At least, like, there has been player conflict, but there's not been anything to, like, stimulate things like Overseer effects or Triglavian data or any of these kinds of things to move. So, yeah. And, you know, wormhole space continues to be wormhole space in spite of any changes that has been made to it. Top 8 sinks and faucets. So we see that it really looks like in the last month we see a big or an increase in bounties with a decrease in commodities, even though we saw a reduction in ratting, which still hurts my head.
People are shooting bigger rats.
I guess. But no, because it's the amount of from ratting. Well, hold on. There's going to need to be a hold on counter on this video, I think. Bounty payments are at 38 trillion. When last month they're at 41 trillion. So they're down. Bounties are down by 3 million in total ISK faucet payout. But here, bounties are up.
That means people are shooting smaller rats.
But the two data points contradict each other.
I just gotta shrug my shoulders.
We're going to move along. Man, I usually call this segment Ashrothi doesn't know anything about economy, you know, whatever edition. And I am really feeling it now.
Well, graphs and charts often contradict each other.
That's true. Sanchez incursions are actually down quite a bit. Like that tracks. Where was I? Oh gosh. All right. Money supply. So here we can see that the total amount of ISK. So this is that negative ISK delta that we were talking about, right? So even though there are more faucets than sinks, the overall amount of ISK in circulation is actually going down. And I don't know if that's because people are... It could very well be that like this spike of new of people checking it out, like now their accounts have become inactive enough that they are no longer counted, and so their wealth is taken out of the calculation, or if this is literally just accounts being banned. But yeah, we're seeing a big decrease in the or we're seeing a decrease in the character wealth continue as a trend. Corporation wealth increases at a normal rate, and the change in the total is basically completely controlled by the character change. Velocity of ISK. Do you have an opinion about velocity of ISK?
We need more of it.
Velocity of ISK is how many times a single ISK is kind of traded. Effectively how much ISK is being handed around and how quickly throughout the market. And we can see that basically ever since scarcity ended, it's been pretty flat since then. There's been ups and downs. It's pretty flat. You know, somebody was talking about this where, it was either because multi-boxing was done differently or, oh man, now I can't remember. There was somebody brought to me some very clever explanation as to why the velocity of ISK was actually lower now. That doesn't count something. I can't remember. I could be wrong. Let's just forget I ever said anything. All right. But yeah. Oh. Hold on. Without contracts and Plex related items. So yeah, you can see that a lot of the spikiness is about the Plex related items. Active ISK delta is changed due to players going inactive and players getting banned. Yeah. Either way, I don't remember exactly what it was brought to my attention, but you know, I honestly don't think that that's that bad of a thing at the moment. We already looked at those. We already looked at that. Mineral price index. So how much mining have you been doing recently?
Not very much, just with your mining fleet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious as to like, because like the mineral price index is as high as it almost ever has been. And a lot of people have been talking about like inflation and the costs of stuff and whatnot. And I wonder how much that influences it. Especially since it also means that what you mine is technically worth more, right? Lowest velocity equals inflation. One ISK is less valuable than before. I'm actually curious as to how that happens, but that's not right now. Yep. Looks like mineral price index actually, if anything, mineral price index ticked down. Everything's kind of ticked down since the new year when it comes to the price indexes of things. So we can see here, it's down 8.3%, I think is what that means. And nope, that can't be what that means. I don't know what any of this means. What does that delta mean? I don't know. It is down. Here we got a big amount of the loss is in, hold on, this is actually kind of interesting. That bottom row, what is it? Tech 1 modules? Hold on. Is that right? Yeah. So Tech 1 modules are leading a drop off, if anything.
Up.
No, in other words, like the value of them are going down. So I would assume that they, like, more rats are getting blown up and loot is getting pulled in. Implants have gone down. That is almost certainly like pirate implants and stuff influencing that. The mineral price index, we've got big drop in low-end minerals and little drop in high-end minerals. From a big, there's been a push up. There's been some corrections. This could be from overmining, but like, again, I'm super confused by the mining numbers at this point. Primary producer price index. T1 modules price spec at the end of last year, compact micro warp drives, metaguns, etc. That's fair. Popularity of faction warfare and stuff probably didn't help. So advanced moon materials is up and raw moon materials is down. Okay. Secondary. We've got salvage materials are down. Everything's kind of down. Commodity and accessories are down. Yeah, I was looking at so what I do is I look at the ESS payouts. Yeah, we looked at ESS payouts, and that's also down. Look at the price of modules and ships, right? Like ships are still going up a little bit, but modules had a big fall off. So yeah, there's that spike from the end of the year that you guys were that Jeff was just referencing, but it looks like it's definitely fallen back down. All right, wormhole trade summary. Where are we at here? It's another one of those ones I like to. Look at the previous months. We've got 14.5 and 5.8, 13.7, 5.4. So we do see a drop off in class 5 without as much of a drop off in class 6. with a small increase in 4, and 3 is even. Now the gas, if we looked before, if I remember correctly, we saw like it go from very low numbers, negative numbers even, down to, oh, those are still negative numbers. So 0.5, 0.6. Maybe I'm wrong. But here we go. Oh, this is actually basically the exact same. Okay, so that gas hasn't really changed that much. Materials, 0.6, 1.0. Down in C6, slightly down in C5, down in up in class 4, a little bit up in class 3, a little bit up in class 2, and down in class 1. That's materials being received. So that's like, I'm assuming that's like mining, hacking, etc. So yeah. Largest battles by solar system. Cool. Oh, and that's it? Is that it? Do they not have the faction warfare ones anymore? I guess those aren't particularly handy. All right, well, thoughts?
The market's just doing its thing like usual.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like, so normally you think of summer as a slump, but like I feel like there's a lot of anticipation going on right now because, you know, we're waiting on Vanguard. We know that there's a summer expansion coming up that has to do with nullsec. There's a lot of people that are kind of waiting and seeing and kind of building up their you know, their flexibility so that way they can deal with whatever it is that is going to come. So do you have any plans or thoughts?
I was gonna focus on trading in minerals.
Minerals. Yeah.
And that new kind of isogen also.
Isogen 10?
Mm-hmm.
Isogen 10 is extremely volatile because you know, it comes from the abyss. And so like it depends on how in demand that Triglavian ships are. It can vary great. It can vary from like 50 to like 100. Let's go look at what it is right now.
Spot price of isogen 10.
$62, which is, I mean, now's actually probably a pretty decent time to buy. It doesn't fluctuate nearly as much as before. Actually, it is kind of towards its upper bound for the year, but I think it was also low there. So yeah, this is when everybody was asked to run the Abyss for dailies.
So there was lots of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff and nobody really knew what to do with it. But it's also true that Triglavian ships just got nerfed. So yeah, I expect to see a small downtick at least in Triglavian stuff for right now. Now with the stuff dropping and, you know, everything coming soon, it's important that we are on the precipice of likely the next live event, whatever it ends up being. So make sure to stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. So that way, as soon as it gets out there, we can get that information to you and we can jump in on it. But yeah, I guess that about covers it for the MER. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for
And
letting me be here.
At least being some awesome background for my
Yeah.
the shirt is epic. But yeah, I'm an Ashrathi. This has been the MER. If you're live, stay here. If not, I will see you next time. And until then, I will see you in space. All right. So, hi guys. That's all the content I had for you guys today. We never saw the kitty. Where is Kitty? Oh man.
Oh,
she
I was
super
petting the
not gonna be
kitty. If
happy.
you saw me like looking around and leaning over and stuff, I was definitely petting the kitty.
I'm definitely going to use this as an excuse to go find her. She hates being picked up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Say hi. Okay. That's enough of that. There you go. There's the kitty. That's right. The people demand. I'm happy to oblige. So in addition, I am planning on resuming Kato Ash probably on Thursday. I haven't decided whether or not Thursday is going to be a live stream on the Decanted page or another one here. If it is here, then I'll be doing Kato Ash, and we'll probably be doing Yeet Exploration unless somebody else comes up with something else. I do still need to make that implants recording. With everything else going on, I just never got around to it. And oh, anything else, guys? I'm trying to remember. We got through today quickly. It's so good to see you guys again. It's good to be here. I will say that, like, so a lot of the reason why I have been gone, like, obviously what happened or what, you know, the video I put out had a big impact on things. But in addition to that, it was true that my son has been sick a lot. So, yeah, I don't know what that's going to mean going forward. Hopefully it's better now because, you know, winter, like, he got the flu and just not like something tragic or anything like that, but like just sick. So, hopefully it's going to be less so. You've missed all of it, Dutch. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. But yeah, and I have been flying more with the convocation. If you guys are interested in flying with me, you can join the convocation. Link is in the chat or in the description down below by joining the Discord. You can also just join the Discord and flag yourself as interested in YouTube videos, and then you'll get all my videos pinged to you when they go live. And, you know, you can come and ask questions and hang out and all that stuff. I do want to thank all my supporters. I want to say that for the last couple of videos, I've explicitly not thanked my sponsors or the supporters out loud, like by name, partially because with everything going on, I didn't want anyone to feel like I was, you know, they were being named in something that they didn't want to continue to be associated with. So I've kind of put that on pause, let things kind of settle down. And then I'm going to come through and like regenerate my list. So that way I can give people credit where it's due. But I want to be respectful of everybody as much as I can be. And I think that that's the best way I can do that. Disclaimer, mentioning does not imply endorsement. Oh boy. Sorry, I have notes up there. That's why I keep on looking up there. But I don't think I have anything else. Quick, somebody get me derailed so that way I don't go offline. Otherwise, I should really hang out with my buddy who came over.
Well, I endorse Ash because there but for the grace of God go I.
There you go. What are my thoughts on asset safety? I think that super capital asset safety is the biggest poison to EVE Online. It is the biggest corrosive influence on EVE Online's design that currently exists in the game. Normal asset safety is fine. Super capital asset safety is poison. Sorry, Jeff. I was able to summarize my thoughts very quickly on that one. Let me think. Oh yeah, no, it has all kinds of negative effects. Like, can you imagine think about the reign of the RoAch wall with the one changes that super capitals didn't have asset safety. Can you get on your soapbox about Zarzak for a bit? So like every time I go in Zarzak, it is almost dead. Which is good because it means I can use it. Not great because, you know, it's supposed to be a popular feature. The fact that most of the main organizations have all but abandoned it is pretty telling, really, I think. And the only reason why I think like positively about it at this point is the idea that like if they are going to develop Zarzak in the future, if they're going to do events in there or whatever, like they've talked about, they could always change the rules later once they're ready to. Like if they're developing some better system to control who can and can't use bubbles or where they can and can't use bubbles. But like, so with how much they're interested in using Zarzak, especially for the Deathless stuff, I think it's almost impossible for them to leave it in the state that it is in. But right now, the state it's in is not great, and everything I said about it originally has only been proven true, and all of the complaints about it have been proven to be not really that important. Not having a two-way transportation with a shipcaster. I don't agree with the two-way transportation. I like the idea that the only way home is to die. That said, I think that at the end of the insurgency, everything inside of the structure should be asset safetied or moved one way or another to the fulcrum. Yeah, an entire fleet getting wiped due to that bubble mechanic. Yeah, and Brisk celebrated it as like, see, this is why I want bubbles in Zarzak. But like, there's very little to no counterplay to it. It's pretty silly. It undermines the whole thing, and you can still bubble the outsides. So like your entire purpose of it is you just want to be able to use the environment against the person when they can't defend themselves. They should put a permanent Sino beacon in Zarza that only Angel Guri people can use. Jump freighters, man, that is actually unironically another big struggle with Zarzak, which is that like getting things into Zarzak is a pain in the ass. Sure, blockade runners are fine and all that stuff, and deep space transports work, and the lack of the towers and everything make it so that that's not too bad. They're also warp inhibitor. They have warp inhibition. God, warp bubble inhibitors potentially too. So like getting things in and out of Zarzak with those tools is easy, but getting in and out a jump freighter worth of stuff is a complete pain in the butt. So like that's the thing, is that in order for Zarzak to be successful, it needs to have a population of people that want to use it. So that way other people can then like feel compelled to go through the extra bullshit of getting it moved in. What is asset safety? When a player structure is destroyed or goes or is pulled up, whatever, if it's removed for any reason, your stuff that's inside of it gets put into what's called asset safety. And several days later, you can either pull it out of the same station, or sorry, a different station or structure within the same system for 0.5%. Or if you have nowhere to asset safety it to in the same system, you have to wait, I think it's 21 days, and then you can asset safety it for like 20% in the nearest LOSEC system. So yeah, it's a way to ensure that your stuff doesn't get blown up along with the structure. Now, a structure that's been allowed to go abandoned does not have asset safety. Neither does structures in wormholes. So all that stuff drops. If I have anything in asset safety, I should just show it. I don't think I have anything actively in asset safety. Oh, I certainly don't have anything in asset safety with this character.
You got tons in assets.
Yeah, there's no asset safety in Parchment either. That's true. Oh, so I was talking about something else. Oh yeah, Zarzak. So like, it's going to take extra work to make the market in Zarzak viable, but the people that would go through the effort to make that happen are incredibly unmotivated because you could have the perfect market in Pochfin and it would still be difficult to convince people to operate out of there. Especially since the problem is that the only reason why Pochfin is the only reason why Zarzak is functional right now at all is because of its lack of popularity, right? The fact that nobody is using it for staging is the only reason that yes. The fact that Zarzak is not that popular is 07 lazy one. The fact that Zarzak is not that popular at the moment is the only reason why people are not locking it down, right? The more people try to use Zarzak, the more valuable disrupting influences on Zarzak are. Right now, you could put up bubbles or whatever, and all you have to do is deal with the towers, which are a pain in the ass, and maybe get one person every couple of, one or a couple of people every, hour or so. Whereas, if you could halt entire fleets like that one video was, then yeah, that's the dream, right? But that isn't going to happen as long as people just avoid using Zarzak in general. So, yeah, it's in a bad place right now, in my opinion, but it is usable, and I am confident that it can always change in the future. And there are many pressures for it to change in the future. All right. Well, what does Zarzak just upgrades to Concord rules? Anyone fighting gets DD'd from the station? Well, so that's the thing, is that the towers actually end up doing pretty good. What's up, Lady J? Like, the towers are more functional than I gave them credit for originally, I would think. Although, again, like, a lot of this stuff hasn't really been put to the test that much anymore. Because, nobody's really using it. Although, every single time I've gone into Zarzak to try to use the shipcaster or whatever, it's been perfectly fine. What I have, I did want to talk a little bit. I have been playing a lot of Pacific Drive, No Man's Sky, Phasmophobia and stuff. So I was thinking about streaming some of that on Thursday, or at least making some content for that. People are kind of freaking out because I talk about my Ashrothi Decanted video or channel in my video, but then there's nothing for it yet. So I kind of want to prioritize that, but I also kind of want to get back to streaming EVE Online. So hit me up in Discord if you want to influence my decision making, I guess. All right. Well, I also definitely want to thank Sheesh and any of the people, all the people, especially the people that did super thanks in. Hold on. I gotta look those up now that I think about it. I really did mean it when I said it in the video that, like, these mean so much to me. I am very much committed to you guys, for sure. Where is it? Where can I find? Yeah. Wait, maybe? Hold on. Yeah, to Sheesh and Init and any of you guys that have been doing, that did super thanks on those two videos. Man, that meant that, oddly enough, like, that meant more to me than I think that people understood, because, like, part of the whole thing is that I made those videos demonetized because I knew that they were not videos for that anyways, and I didn't want to be seen as trying to profit off of that in any way. But people were very kind and made sure that I still have money for food, which I really, really appreciate. It means a lot, and it shows that, like, the amount of messages and just correspondences I've had because of this. As much as it feels weird to have something positive come out of this complete shit show, I mean, that positivity comes from you guys, not me, that's for sure. But I am here, and we are going to keep understanding EVE Online, and we're going to keep putting EVE into context for my fellow Empyreans. But until next time, I have been Ashrathi. I've been playing this game since 2010, talking about it since 2012, and I'm here to put EVE into context for you, my fellow Empyreans. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for checking out the stream. Thank you for liking the video, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for all of your support. If you do want to thank me, you can become a member or share this video with somebody else. But until next time, I have been Ashrathi, the voice of New Eden, and I'll see you in space.